I would like to start my homily with the words of Mother Teresa, now Saint Teresa of Calcutta. She said, "The most terrible poverty is loneliness and feeling of being unloved or abandoned." You can say that. Why? Because this perfectly narrate to us and echo the gospel. When Jesus looked upon the crowds, he said, he experienced, his heart was moved with pity for them because they were troubled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. You know, these words reveal the very heart of God that does not merely see faces in the crowd, but sees the hearts. He sees beyond appearances, beyond the smiles we wear and accomplishment we display. He sees authentically our fears, our struggles, our disappointments, our loneliness, and our deepest longings. Most importantly, He sees each one of us because His heart is filled with compassion. Now, let's dive deeper into this. You know, I cannot help but think about the world in which we live today. We are living in an extraordinary age. Never before has humanity possessed such knowledge, technology, and power to transform the world. One, we can communicate instantly with people across the globe. Second, medical science can perform procedures that previous generation could never have accomplished. Third, artificial intelligence can process enormous amounts of information in seconds. Fourth, human beings have explored the moon and continue to reach farther into space. You know, these achievements are indeed remarkable. And so we should be grateful for scientists, physicians, engineers, educators, researchers, and innovators whose work has improved countless lives. You know, human creativity and intelligence are gifts from God. Yet, amid all these accomplishments, there is one question that our modern world rarely asks. And what is that? Where did these gifts come from? Who gave us the intelligence to discover the secrets of nature? Who gave us the imagination to dream beyond what was previously possible? Who created the laws of the universe that make science and technology possible? And the answer is God. Every talent is a gift. Every ability is His blessing. Every genuine discovery is possible because God continues to sustain the world He created. So, the problem is not progress. The problem is forgetfulness. The tragedy of our world is not that humanity has achieved so much. The tragedy is we celebrate the gift while forgetting the giver. Thank goodness, God is remarkably humble. He does not force Himself upon us, but He quietly rejoices in our achievement and continues to bless us even when we fail to acknowledge Him. Not because He needs our praise, but because He loves us authentically, purely loves us. And so yet many people live today as though God were unnecessary. We trust instead in our wealth, knowledge, technology, and accomplishment. And so we place our confidence in data, algorithms, machines, and human ingenuity. We increasingly tend to believe that we alone are responsible for our success. The world calls this progress, but the gospel calls it spiritual poverty, as what Mother Teresa said. Yes, technology can make life easier, but it cannot teach us how to love authentically. Science can prolong our life, but it cannot conquer death. Artificial intelligence can provide a lot of information, but it cannot provide wisdom. Success can provide comfort, but it cannot provide lasting peace. Only God can satisfy the deepest hunger of the human heart. So perhaps this is the reason why Jesus looked upon our own generation the same compassion He showed the crowds in Galilee. He sees a world that has achieved so much and yet often feels lost. He sees people connected to everyone, yet disconnected from God. He sees people surrounded by information and yet searching still for meaning of life. He sees heart longing for something more. And so the answer to this spiritual hunger is not about less progress. No. The answer is renewed relationship with God, who makes all things possible. And this is the heart of the gospel I would like to emphasize today. Jesus does not simply look upon the crowds with compassion and then walk away. No. He responded beautifully. What was His response? He calls His disciples and sent them forth. But mind you, that mission did not end with Peter, Andrew, James, and John, and the other disciples. It continues today. The people Jesus is sending are not somewhere else. They are us, you and me. Because the lost sheep are still among us. Look at those empty seats. Where are they? Sometimes, the people live next door is the one we are being sent forth. Sometimes they sit around our dinner table. Sometimes they work beside us every day. Sometimes they are members of our own family. And so the modern world does not need to cure leprosy in a literal sense. But there are so many forms of leprosy nowadays. Loneliness, addiction, depression, hopelessness, and feeling of being unwanted and unloved. The modern world does not need us to cast demons in a very dramatic way described in the gospel. But there are still demons that plague our society. Hatred, greed, violence, prejudice, division, and indifference. The world does not need more celebrities. The world needs more shepherds. It needs people who will accompany the lonely, guide the confused, defend the vulnerable, and point others toward Christ. The world does not need more information. It already possesses more information than any generations in history. What it needs are witnesses. It needs people whose lives point beyond themselves. People humble enough to acknowledge God. Grateful enough to recognize His blessing. Courageous enough to speak about Him in a culture that increasingly prefers to ignore Him. Perhaps the greatest challenge facing Christians today is not hostility toward the faith, but indifference. Many people are not rejecting God. They simply no longer think about Him. And so as I head the OCIA, the Order of Christian Initiation of Adults, think of those people who might be interested in joining the program, be baptized Catholic or receive confirmation and other sacraments. Come to the Welcome Nights, July 6th and August 3rd at 7 p.m. at the PLC. And also, not just those, but us becoming sponsors for those who are journeying in the faith. They need you. Concrete people who will walk with them into the faith. How we live our Christian baptism. And so today, let us ask ourselves, am I merely one of the crowd? Or am I willing to become one of the laborers? For the Lord continues to look upon our world with compassion. And so, Jesus turns to you and me, to us. He did not turn to technology like Alexa or, hey Google. No. He turns to us. not on artificial intelligence, not to the powerful and influential. He turns to his disciples, which is us. He turns to the church, he turns to us. My brothers and sisters, the crowd are still there. The lost sheep are still wandering. The harvest is still abundant. The good shepherd is still calling, and the laborer he seeks are sitting in these pews this very day. May we have the faith to hear his voice, the courage to answer his call, and the generosity to go wherever he sends us. The only question now is, are you up for the challenge?